Fellas, get you a lady that is willing to marry you by kidnapping you and putting you in a cage until you agree to say yes. I'll get one like that one day. One day. Oh shit, did not save. Thank you. Thank you. Let me check. Interesting. Okay, well, never mind then. Never mind, never mind. Alright, I keep on saying that this is gonna be the stream that we're gonna do this. But honestly, if we don't fucking do this stream, we're gonna fucking do this off stream. We're gonna do it off stream. Hopefully we do it this stream. But like, Jesus Christ, I'm at the point where I keep on getting to the end of that boss fight, bro, and then I keep on dying. It's annoying, honestly annoying. But hey, we're gonna keep on trying. I mean, shit, I do have other fucking games I wanted to play before the end of this season. But if we don't play, then I guess we don't play then. Play them then. For the rest of the season, y'all will see me just continuously struggle at this boss until I finish it. Until I finish it. Broke my goddamn TV. You gonna pay with blood? like more like the yapping, right? Wait, we're the ones yapping. Oh fuck no. Unlucky. No, that fucking fight started off horrible. I have no fucking clue why. That was so fucking bad. Just lock it. It's a bit rusty. Yeah, let's just do that. If you say otherwise, I'm gonna say don't know why I keep doing that. Like, for some reason, I keep thinking that it's telling me to go down. I was getting to the end. see. Fuck. Yeah. Ah! 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 Sorry, I had a little incident there. My apologies. We actually did it? What? Don't tell me you've had enough already. Come on, we just getting started. You have 1 HP, Susie. Chill the fuck out. Oh, it's incredible that you're that though, not gonna lie. Not so tough now, are you? No. Alright, so he was just hiding shit. He was just like, alright, I'm going easy mode on you kids. And then I was just like, okay, yeah, y'all being fucking annoying. I'm just gonna do this real quick. How could you? Thank fuck I got this on stream too. Fuck's sake. Because if I didn't do this then, I would have for sure done it off stream. It just would have been inevitable. But it sucks now because of that. I pretty much did this for no reason. Just like I done it. I'm not redoing this boss fight. So. No, you can't take her. I'm pretty sure the rest is the same, pretty much. Sure their dialogue is different. Somehow I thought we had won for a moment, but that we would be able to end the battle here and now. You were so brave, and yet in the end our struggle, it's only beginning, isn't it? Isn't it, Chris? Her face contorted. Like she's having a nightmare. She was added to your key items. Black shark was added to your weapons. All this is just nothingness. after all this, there is still one more thing we gotta do for one more little playthrough on Deltarune, because there is one last secret boss that I have to do after finally doing this shit. And after that, we're moving on and playing another game. At least until the end of this season, which is only a couple more weeks now. Again, I don't know if there's gonna be like a way for me to actually like merge saves or something like that, because I am not redoing that boss fight, or at least another way to get this the fucking shadow crystal that I missed for this chapter, because I'm not just like I did not want to fucking restart the fucking level just in case I couldn't get S tier, and then it was just me restarting it for no reason, and I end up doing it. So yeah, and because of that, I'm finally able to fucking do that boss fight. And all that is super duper annoying. And it's like, I don't know. I'm most likely just saying for the future, I'm most likely do that boss fight for no reason, because like, I don't know. Maybe there will be in the future. There will be another way to get that shard. Who knows? I don't know, or at least a way to use saves. Finally did it, boys. We finally fucking did it. This music finally, it hits so much harder after going through that. My fucking voice a little sore. Jesus Christ. To be continued. Those bars hurt, didn't it? I bet they did. Let me see if I can at least like get like a thingy started. Can I do this? I have no clue if I can. Oh well, whatever. We'll see. We'll see. But that's next thingy. That's next time. That is next time. I don't have to fucking get on this shit anymore. But now, time for the reacts. If it will fucking load, Jesus Christ. And that's acting like shit today. Oh, please load. There.
Elves, superheroes,
It's a fucking fly. Got it. Nice. Hands on my fucking hand. Ew. I don't know if I remember to wash my hands. Moving like fucking like the cockroach king himself. Sympathy for the Immortals by Scrawls? Yeah, I think that's what his name is. Whatever. Let's go ahead and take a look on what this is about. It looks interesting. There's anime in it and Adventure Time. Both two goated shit.
vampires, gods. Humanity is obsessed with creating characters that are immortal. So that begs the question, do you want to live forever?
Honestly, at first I was at the thinking of like living forever seems horrible. But like I've came across someone who convinced me something interesting. Like, I'm not saying that I would want to, but like, I mean, not like in the sense of like, you know, living forever, especially not for the sense of just like, you know, being an undying, unkillable thing. No, like in the sense of like just never aging, like in that sense. But someone brought me into like interesting, because like you would think like it would be horrible because like, you know, you'll see all your friends and family die and all that, and just like, and then they brought this to me, and I was like, okay, what if they happened? What if it happened now? What if all that happened right now? Like let's say a fucking apocalypse happened no, not even say that. Let's just say like like a fucking unlucky circumstance. All your friends and family members happen to just be in one group, and then they all get hit by asteroids. Let's just say that instead, because like if you were in a fucking apocalypse, most of y'all will probably say, "Fuck it, I'm control alt deleting out of existence." But like that would be fair. But like let's just say an asteroid just happens to hit, just completely unlucky, unluckily, all of them just fucking hit, or all of them got the fucking mega COVID or some shit like that. Like what happens after that, you know? That caused me thinking, it's like, damn, I don't really have a good excuse to not be immortal. Which I'm like, okay, well, if it ever comes across to me, then I guess I'll take it, sure.
For the most part, your answer should probably be no. Maybe? It depends. As long as we humans have known we can and will die, we've wondered what would happen if we didn't. And in fiction...
Oh yeah, constantly we do. Because like, it's just like, it goes to show that like maybe like not wanting immortality or fearing it could just simply be like a cope to like a sense to be like, to just help us deal with the fact that's like maybe humans are not meant to stay alive forever. Maybe we don't want this power. Maybe here's like reasons why we don't want it. It could be a cope, but I don't know. I'm just saying like, I'm not scared of the idea of dying. Maybe I am scared of dying. I don't know. I've never been in a life or death situation. Actually, kind of have. But like, I don't know. I don't know if how I'll feel when that comes in. But like me personally, I'm just not fearful of like dying. Again, like I said, if it ever comes to me, I'll take it. But it's like I'm not gonna like hope that it does. I'm just gonna live my life, and you know, just like assuming that I'm gonna have only one.
Some of the most fascinating characters that we create have immortality. Immortal characters are often elevated above the typical person. Without death in sight, the immortal is free to party for eons, collect hidden knowledge, travel the world, and suffer. Because for every myth of an eternal god, there's one about a man sentenced to eternal punishment. For every soul free to live forever is a soul trapped in a body that refuses to die. I'm Scrolls, and today we'll be exploring stories where immortality is not a blessing, but instead a terrible curse. Spoilers ahead for these pieces of media.
Yeah, fair. I guess yeah. If you haven't been watching any of that, but like again, yeah, that's just life though. A life is suffering. Life is suffering. It is also joy. It's happiness. It's sorrow. It's sadness. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things fused into one. Which is, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, it sucks that like sometimes you have to suffer through things in life for you to actually realize that it's a good thing, you know. But yeah, that's just life in general. But it's like having that for the eternity is just like, yeah, you're bound to get through places. It's that will like increase your suffering forever. It's like, of course, given enough time, given a time of like infinite, anything is possible, you know. It's like the longer you have for something to happen, it's most likely is going to happen. Just give it a long enough time to do it for it to pass.
Imagine that you are an everlasting evil queen sitting on your throne. For eternity, you have been unchallenged, your foreboding castle an unending reminder.
Can't imagine that. It's because I'm not a girl. If you would have said king, that would have been different. But queen, I don't identify as a girl either, so.
Of your blight across the realm. It has always been like this, so surely reality will stay like this. No one can stop you, not even that little pesky adventurer who keeps stabbing at your ankles, who keeps coming back to fight you even after their death. You will rule forever. This is what you wanted, right? It's not lonely or boring. You're a royal, not a prisoner, right? This is the story of the Dark Queen of Mortholm. It's a short itch.io game developed by Mosu.
I mean, this looks like an interesting game. Damn, nah, I'll probably just like look at a fucking recap of it at some point. I don't know. I don't think I'll actually play it. But like, yeah, that I mean, you could just see that for like life, because like again, majority of shit that people would like argue for immortality, like you could just be like, okay, what if that's happening now? Like even like here, it's just like, yeah, you get to rule forever, and it's like no one can stop you. But it's like this some little nigga always comes to try to stop you forever. It's like, I mean, number one, stop being evil, and maybe someone won't come to try to stop you. And even then, it's like, number two, even then, it's just like, I mean, that's just life in general. Like there's always gonna be some sort of thing holding you back to something, to some degree, even if you're immortal.
That tells the story of two different forms of immortality colliding. In it, you play as the final boss of a Dark Souls-like world. You are the Dark Queen herself, an imposing being that does not seem to age or tire. She's an immortal that cannot be killed by time, but perhaps she could be slain by someone powerful enough. Facing you is your foe, the hero. A hero who returns from death after every battle. Even if you squash the hero like a bug over and over, they only seem to get faster and more accustomed to your tricks. While the hero can change and learn and grow, you cannot. You are stuck in a ceaseless kind of immortality, forced to sit at a throne in a room alone, fighting with the same moves. Eventually, your immortal life will be ended, or you must find a way to stop the hero and continue your reign forever. Yet, as the game goes on, the queen begins to find a fondness for the respawning hero. Their quips and sparring matches bring color into her world, movement into her old bones. After every battle, the queen snaps to remove the hero's corpse from her hall, using flame magic. But, as the battles go on, the queen's method changes. First, a snap. Then, she begins to place a hand on the corpse. And finally, when asked if she missed the hero while they were gone between battles, the queen can answer this. The bonfire of your corpse does bring warmth to these halls. When I played as the queen, I could not help but feel the heaviness of the crown she wore, the loneliness of her throne. While immortality is
Again, if
often
you were
portrayed as a
just
freedom, it
again, if you were just stop being evil, maybe you weren't so lonely. Kind of simple there, but whatever, I guess.
also sometimes becomes a prison. In this world, to be the immortal queen is to be trapped in the role of the final boss. You cannot leave the bounds of your chamber. So the Dark Queen's game ends in two main ways. The first is to fight and to be killed. Maybe this is an act of mercy. When the queen is slain by the hero's sword, she is free from the trap of eternity. But the alternative is to cheat the hero out of a win. With endings like these, the hero gives up and immortality remains yours. In this ending, you are sentenced to silence. A silence that will go on forever. In much of mythology, immortality is either a gift of the gods or an eternal punishment. Take a look at Greek mythology. There's Sisyphus, a king who was forced to spend eternity rolling a boulder up a hill, only for it to roll down before it reaches the top every time. Or Prometheus, a titan who, after bestowing mankind fire, was chained to a rock for eternity, where vultures would peck out his organs, only for them to regrow every day. The Greeks really knew how to dish out some truly cruel and unusual punishments. Those who committed sins against the gods or against their brethren were forced to live through punishments that would never end, locking them in eternal pain. Some of those being tortured in Hades might deserve it, but can you imagine pushing a boulder up a hill even for one full day? How about a whole month of these punishments? A year? Decades? Hundreds and thousands of years? At a certain point, it seems impossible to fathom that level of pain.
What, bro? I didn't watch this part of fucking Sisyphus. Oh my god, you didn't say we was gonna spoil this.
And boredom from our mortal vantage point.
He gets a basketball?
In the vein of these endless punishments are stories like I Have No Mouth, But I Must Scream. In this dark sci-fi story, a hateful AI known as Am has eradicated almost all of humanity. However, it keeps the last survivors alive and tortured. Using some sort of biology warping technology, Am is able to mess with their bodies while still making sure they cannot die. They become the subjects of his hate for the human masters who created him in the first place. There are many other tales and
See, this is the type of immortality that would be stupid to have. Obviously, like just like you're just immortally just being tortured for all eternity. I mean, that's practically just hell. But it's just like, I mean, yeah. But like even fucking philosophers would believe that it's justified to try to kill yourself if you're trapped in a situation like this. If you're being tortured.
fiction of characters being trapped for eternity,
In Minecraft.
whether they deserve it or not. So how about immortals who are cool and heroic and free? I mean, regeneration and healing factors, they're pretty sick. But in a way, aren't those heroes trapped too? In the prisons of their own bodies? Marvel characters like Wolverine and Deadpool boast incredible regeneration abilities that essentially
In the prison of your own body. Aren't you that now? I mean, if you believe in like an afterlife, then I guess yeah, you probably want to like die eventually at some point. But I mean, you still are that now though. So it's like unless you believe in an afterlife, then it's like there's again that's not really a valid reason to not be immortal.
make them immortal, able to regenerate from any wound, even when sliced in half. But surely there comes a point where living through death hundreds and hundreds of times and never getting to find rest must take its toll on them. The film Logan is a tragic evolution of Wolverine's character, or maybe de-evolution. Wolverine's body is covered in scars and sores. His claws come out grindingly slow at times, if at all. Every movement seems wearier, every wound hurting him more than before. While Wolverine's powers allowed him to live for hundreds of years, eventually he was poisoned by the adamantium in his bones. We watch Old Man Logan going on a journey while fading out of his immortality in one of the most...
Well, technically, this is a situation where he's aging, you know, because like he's living immortal forever, but like he's aging though. That would be hell. Like that would be horrible. Why would you want to still continue aging? Obviously, it's like again the mortality you want is the type where you just simply don't age. Where it's like you still can be killed, you know. So if like that if situation where like the Earth blew up, you ain't just floating through space forever for all eternity. That would be miserable. But like if you're But like if you're, if you don't age too though, so it's like as long as you're not specifically killed, you're good.
Painful ways. Even though Logan isn't physically trapped in hell or a lonely hall, the slow torture of wounds and a failing healing factor creates its own kind of hell for him to experience. In the novel Gulliver's Travels, there's a nation of people known
That doesn't even mention Deadpool. The torture he has is just being ugly.
as the Struldbrug, who cannot die but still experience the effects of aging. When these people reach 80 and continue to feel every infirmity but never to find rest, they are declared dead in their society and left alone in order to make room for the youth. And returning to the Greeks, there's the tale of Eos and Tithonus. Eos asked Zeus to give her lover Tithonus immortality, but Zeus, being the asshole that he is, granted that wish without stopping aging. Tithonus would live forever, but while slowly aging into a decrepit and senile husk, too weak to even move. These tales are some of the most harrowing depictions of immortality. They all seem to chide humanity for its foolishness. Hearing about Tithonus shrivel or the badass Wolverine be reduced to a shell of himself, it paints our wishes for immortality as selfish. It twists the gift of life into something full of pain. However, with immortals, it isn't always the degradation of the body that is the threat to your existence. Sometimes it's the loss of your mind. In the game 1000 Year Vampire, you play a vampire who lives for hundreds, maybe 1,000 years, marching through the tides of history, watching your...
This is a valid excuse for why you wouldn't want immortality. Because, like, again, the concept of immortality is just completely alien to humanity. There's, like, we don't know what that would even do to the psyche, like, whatsoever. So it's just like, yeah, this is valid, because, like, you might lose your mind. And to me, or anyone trying to pursue anything that I'm trying to do, especially in this, like, industry that I'm trying to pursue, we already are. Everybody who is trying to fucking talk to nobody, just a fucking microphone and a camera for their lifestyle, they're insane already. So they don't have an excuse, especially me. I don't have an excuse here either.
friends and enemies live and die in the blink of an eye. Throughout this solo role-playing game, you roll dice to navigate to different prompts, writing a journal entry about your vampiric life in each one. One of the core mechanics of this game are your memories. Memories aren't something static and permanent. Instead, memories become commodities. They are a limited resource that you must manage, gaining and losing them over the course of 1,000 years. As time flashes by, empires rise and fall. You write experiences only to watch them crumble away. In my playthrough, I played Haran, a Filipino man born in the 1500s who was turned into a vampire by a Spanish conquistador. For Haran, immortality meant power. He slaughtered conquerors through several lifetimes of wars, became the figurehead of a cult, and tried to lead the Filipino people in revolution time and time again. Yet, as the centuries passed, he began to forget people, his mother, lovers, friends, and even his children. This memory mechanic hurts. It is a two-pronged attack on your experience of immortality. Firstly, there's the tragedy of watching your vampire character lose these precious memories that they've lived through. There is nothing they can do to keep them safe. Even journals holding your memories are lost or destroyed.
Yeah, Alzheimer's is fucking horrifying.
In certain prompts, making the world feel even more fragile. Secondly, there's an even sicker feeling from the player's perspective when you must choose which memories to strike out of your logs. The night you and your now dead lover danced in the moonlight? The last time you saw the sunset without burning your skin? The taste of your mother's cooking? How do you decide what to hold on to and what to lose in the test of time? It's an incredibly challenging question, one that steeps the entire game in an atmosphere of melancholy. Without our memories, would we want to live forever? On the other hand, perhaps it's a blessing to forget. For if an immortal were to remember everything, especially over the course of thousands of years, who knows what kind of mad god they would become, filled with the guilt of every sin, every embarrassing moment, every mistake, every folly, everything. The Doctor from Doctor Who is a prime example of an immortal who deserves our sympathy. Sure, he's a silly British man with a time-traveling box who lives forever and gets to see the universe. But for all his talk of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey balls of stuff, he is someone who is seriously haunted by his uncountable mistakes. A blazing alien sun has been...
I have never seen Doctor Who. Heard of it. Like, I know it's iconic in the sci-fi area, but it's like, I've never seen it.
Feeding on the memories and stories of an entire society. In order to defeat this parasite god, the Doctor offers his memories. For beyond his smiling exterior is a man who has destroyed countless civilizations, lived to become both a god and a devil alike. He has lived for thousands of years or more, surviving horrors and tragedies on both the personal and planetary scale. Grief that he has had to carry with him every day of his unending life. What is grief to an immortal? The anime Frieren Beyond Journey's End details the life of an elf named Frieren. Unlike many of the characters I've discussed so far, Frieren is not someone tortured by her immortality. At least not in the same way. Frieren lives a life exploring a world of magic. She isn't growing more decrepit or plagued with immense guilt or trapped in one place, though she does often get trapped in mimics.
Yeah!
She is an elf who has lived for potentially over 1,000 years and could continue to live for thousands and thousands of years until she eventually dies of a natural elf lifespan. And she spends much of that life eating delicious foods and collecting random grimoires and spells. For all extents and purposes, the life of a long-lived elf like Frieren is incredibly chill. Yet despite the sweetness of her life and these beautiful rolling landscapes she gets to journey across, she still carries something very sad within her. Long ago, Frieren joined an adventuring party that had a 10-year journey across the land to slay the Demon King and free the world from darkness. For an elf, 10 years is almost nothing. That adventure is long over. However, her adventuring party included humans with the shorter lifespan and all. When Himmel the hero, the man who had gathered the group together, passed away, Frieren realized that even though she had spent 10 whole years with him, it felt as if she had barely known him. In the eyes of an immortal, the human is but a mayfly, born to die in a moment. Eventually, Frieren takes on a new adventuring party, and through this expedition, she learns to better appreciate the way she changes and is changed by the mortal world. Sure, the series has some incredible lore and crazy battles, but the definite highlights are the smaller everyday moments that connect Frieren across generations. Like watching Frieren reminisce on a type of flower that Himmel loved, and realizing she did know parts of him after all these years. Or seeing Frieren eat at the same restaurants she did decades ago, to re-experience the same dishes but with new friends. It's beautiful to look through Frieren's at times distant perspective, but to see her growing to appreciate the warmth and wonder of mortal lives, even if they are so short. As an immortal, Frieren struggles at times to realize her attachment to others. It took decades for Frieren to realize what the hero party meant to her. When your whole life can outlive the rise and fall of entire countries, how can you understand the whims of humans? When I watch Frieren cry for her lost friend and the lifetimes she will live without him, I can't help but feel my heart break. One of the brightest things we have in this life are the people we surround ourselves with. Friends and family, that's what makes life worth living. Himmel requested to build statues of the hero party throughout the land, partially because of his pride, but also so that when they were gone, the statues could keep Frieren company.
I mean, yeah. Again, that's another excuse, but I already pretty much gone through that. Because again, it's just like, yeah, your friends will eventually die, but it's just like, again, what if that happens now? What if that happens right now?
When you live for so long or experience the world as an elevated, immortal being, sometimes you lose your ties to humanity. Apathy, immorality, and a disconnect with what the common person likes or wants can happen. Look at the tropes of vampires, liches, and other undead. In order to maintain their tainted immortality, vampires must feed on the blood of the living. The suffering of others is what powers them. And while some vampires fully descend into cruelty and savageness, the ones that cling to their humanity are surely distraught by the ways they must choose to prolong their life at the expense of others. There are also immortal superhero characters like Dr. Manhattan from The Watchmen, able to bend reality to his will, yet unable to care. With a perception of time that is non-chronological and a lifespan that extends far past the people around him, he is consumed with a vast apathy. Anything a human could do becomes beneath him and his cosmic power in view of reality. In some immortal lives, reality itself begins to crumble under the strain of eternity. Slay the Princess is a horror visual novel game that explores some of the ways meaning and love are transformed or destroyed within a pocket of immortality. In this game, you find yourself on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin
is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't,
Somehow
it
that
will
became
be the
iconic to me.
end
I have
of
no
the
clue how.
world.
a formless narrator
If
in
you
your
haven't
head
played that
bids you
game,
to
I
slay.
wish I would have saved this because like I watched playthroughs of this game, but I wish I would have played this in stream. This is such a fucking phenomenal game, bro. It really is. Like you'll just like, it's amazing how you'll just catch fucking written novels like this. That's just like that should be a fucking masterpiece. It's a whole artwork on its own.
A princess. And as you decide whether or not to do this, to save or to kill, reality spirals based on your every choice. And after you kill or are killed by her, the world repeats. Even though you remember what has happened, you are forced to relive slightly different versions of the past over and over again. You and the princess are trapped in some strange loop of love and violence. You aren't humans, but instead something much greater. Something immortal, something twisted, something godlike. Yet you're still trapped. One possible route in this game that explores immortality is called Happily Ever After. After choosing to save the princess, you can also decide to live out your happy romance together within the confines of the reality warping cabin. How lovely. For if you stay in this cabin with her, everything will be fine. You could be happy forever.
I have not seen this because this is like I know that they did a recent update too because there's actually new updates to it. But it's like it's crazy. Recently they did some updates to it, crazy. So it's like this is completely new to me.
No worlds will end, no death will happen. You and your princess can sit at a long dining hall table and enjoy extravagant meal after meal. It's delicious. But if the meals begin to grow fetid and spill like rot from your mouth, that's okay. Instead, you two can play a game. And once you finish, you could play again. And again. And again. And again. You saved her from this horrible prison, and now the two of you can live happy forever. You just need to stay happy. Just stay happy. The food goes stale. The games grow dull. The lights flicker out. Trying to force an immortal relationship that is trimmed and perfect only leads to heartbreak. The princess is not happy like this. You are not happy like this. This isn't real. In a world of simulated perfection without death, without change, beauty loses its meaning. Everything loses its meaning. I see this depiction of immortality as an allegory for a dying relationship. By holding on to over-romanticized ideas of love, ignoring the flaws that are hidden, two lovers are sentenced to a relationship that is simply a facade. Like the Dark Queen of Mortholm, Slay the Princess portrays royal immortals, and how having more time and more luxuries is not necessarily a good thing. To grow comfortable in your immortality may be to lead to a destruction of the organic beauty in your life. And to escape this tragedy, the immortal must accept change. They must.
I mean, yeah, but this is fair. But like, just simply don't stay inside your fucking house and be a shut-in. An easy fix. Easy fix.
Exit the cabin and know it's okay if things come to an end. Throughout fiction, there are plenty of tales of immortal characters who aren't suffering. Outside the conditions of eternal torture or spatial barriers, immortality should be a useful ability, a chance for us to spend more time doing the best thing ever, living. If immortality was something you could just shut off when you wanted, and death was something you could choose after you felt satisfied with the life you lived, that would be glorious. That way you could live your life more fully as long as you wanted, but peace out far before the sun implodes and the universe gets cold and boring. Once you've 100%ed life, just open up that tungsten cube and finally give that snail a hug. Let your immortal life fade out happily. Or if you could choose who was immortal alongside you, guaranteeing your loved ones joined you on the journey, that would be incredible. At the end of the day, it's very easy to dream up possibilities where immortality is enjoyable. So why do we humans love to create characters that suffer so much from immortality? Firstly, death is one of humanity's, if not the greatest fear. By imagining the problems that would come with an eternal lifespan, we come to terms with our own mortality. Maybe living forever would be awesome, but we're mortals, and there's very little we can do to change that for now. So we do what we can to soothe the anxieties in our minds. Tell ourselves that life is short but good. It is meant to be lived through fully, no matter the length. Secondly, there is something deeply human to empathize with everything and to find humanity in everything, even an immortal. In many of these tales I've shared, the immortals are still quite human. Through them, our true desires are shown. Even as immortals, they still want more time with loved ones, still want to be safe and to be in control. Even if they are separated from you or me by eons, both mortal and immortal characters often yearn for meaning, entertainment, freedom, and to love and be loved. And that's truly beautiful.
That was an interesting video. It gave me a lot to think about. It gave me a lot to think about. Yeah, I liked it. I don't think he has anything that I would, but I mean, yeah, it was something for me to yap about a lot. But yeah, it was sympathy for the immortals from Scrolls. Go ahead and give them a like if you find it interesting. But yeah, that's gonna go ahead and do it for this video. And yeah, one more for next stream, one more fucking deltarune video, and then we're gonna move on to another game. But for now, come here.